hate that I have to do this every time. I feel like this video is going to be nasty and awful, but we're going to see. I really don't know what to do. My name's Kamryn. I like plants. And that's about it. Hi, hello. This is my first plant video I'm making. I've made videos on YouTube for a really long time, on and off for several years, a lot of different content. I have a really hard time sticking with it because I have a really hard time finding motivation to make videos, even though I love the editing process. But we'll see, you know, we're gonna try things out. I figured that the first video that I should maybe make is a little plant tour. And so I'm just going to show you my plants. I have not as many as most people do. Maybe I'll insert a clip here of my shelf. If I don't, I look like an idiot, but if I do, cool. But yeah, I don't have as many as most people do. I mainly do like collector's items. I hate being that person. I only do art. But I really just don't find a lot of enjoyment out of collecting like common houseplants and stuff. I do have a few. I probably won't show them just because I kind of like don't care about them as much, and I don't tend to water them as much, and so they look kind of not good.
They're coming here to film, and they're gonna be like, as we expected.
Yeah.
She was raptured up.
Yeah.
But I'll show you guys everything else, and so yeah, I hope you enjoy. So I'm going to start off with my philodendrons for the most part. I'm leaving one out because it's in a propagation box that I'll just do a whole little section in the video on. But these are all my philodendrons, unless I'm like missing something, right? Nope. Okay, this is everything. It's just 3. They're all the same thing. They're all pink princesses. I have one more pink princess that is in the propagation box, like I said. But yeah, so this is my big parent plant, pink princess, that I got from Gabriella Plants. And it was sold to me actually as a burgundy princess, which is what they call their reverted pinks. But like, it came to me, like, obviously you can tell there's not a ton of pink, but I mean there is pink on it, like it exists. It has grown a lot since I got it. I got it back in January, so like 6 months ago. It's actually my first like rare plant that I got was this one. I got it for $45, which was a steal. And it grew up a lot, and I cut it back. And this is where all my cuttings are coming from, is from this one plant. And it is actually, for some reason, I don't even know if you guys can see, it is putting out 2 little growth points. And by little, I mean they're massive. They're not putting out leaves, which is peculiar. It's like the caterpillars just keep putting out more caterpillars, which is a bit confusing, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I have high hopes for this plant. I think it's doing really well. So yeah, so this is my next one. This is my top cutting that I took from this plant. So this was like right there. And it has obviously some damage and some pink. And then this leaf, which is I guess the newest leaf. It's not quite as impressive on the top, but on the underside, pink. So I don't know. I think this plant has a lot of potential. It's actually putting out, and I can even maybe show you guys. Maybe? I don't know if you can tell. You can kind of tell. It's putting out a new leaf. Fun. Fantastic. And then this is the last pink princess I'm going to show you in this section. Again, I have just one more, and it looks pretty much the same as this one, but this was actually a leafless mid cutting. And so I had really low hopes for this one, or like low expectations. Wasn't really thinking that I would get much out of it at all, but doing really well. I will get close to the camera. I may insert some B-roll or something that's prettier, but I don't even know if you guys can tell. But beautiful, putting out this wonderful leaf with actually pretty okay variegation, and then it's putting out this cute little new leaf right now. Doing well, I'm really happy about it. Like, excuse me, oh my god, yes, okay, so, I don't know. That's it with philodendrons. Okay, and so next I'm just gonna show you guys really quick my only living orchid that I own. It's a jewel orchid. It's Ludisia discolor, which is probably, like, if you know what jewel orchids are, you know what this plant is. I'll maybe do it up close again. I don't know if I'll end up doing B-roll. We'll see. But I mean, gorgeous plant. Beautiful leaves, orange veining. And it's actually put out this pup for me. It actually came with a second stem right here, but I have since dropped that off because it was getting really leggy and it wasn't looking very cute and it wasn't putting out pups. But since then it has started putting out a pup that's in the soil. And then this main stem, which came with a flower, because I had a flower, I no longer had an active growth point, and so it has put out 1, 2, 3, 4 pups, all of which have their own nodes, growth points. Probably end up breaking them off at some point. I think they could literally just snap off. Probably end up breaking these off at some point and doing it. I don't know. I've been doing some
who's also here on YouTube.
sales and
She's
stuff.
wonderful.
Past month or so, I sold Tyler William from South Atlanta, who I don't think has a millennial planter. But my point of saying all of this is that I've been just from this poor little plant. I have been with every sale I've been including a jewel orchid cutting, because they honestly kind of grow like weeds and they're stupid easy to propagate, like incredibly easy to propagate. You just stick them in some soil. They have like 40 trillion nodes on like right above or like around each leaf, and so you just pop them in sphagnum and they root and put out growth points like crazy. Amazing, wonderful. I personally root these in sphagnum. You maybe could in water. I don't know. Sphagnum makes more sense to me, but you can do whatever you want. You're an adult, right? Jewel orchid. Fantastic. Love them. Ugh. I just realized I probably should have just pulled all my plants down and brought them here. We'll do that. Okay, so I got my other plants. So this next section, I'm gonna do my random stuff. This is gonna include my propagation box and my just random plants that I don't have a lot of to really see a need to put it anywhere else. So I'm just gonna start off with this little Scindapsus pictus, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Satin pothos. This is the cultivar exotica, I believe. Really, really beautiful plant. I'll get kind of close here. Gorgeous plant. Beautiful. Has some really nice roots on it at the moment. Doing really amazing. Putting out new leaves, all sorts of stuff. This was a rescue plant from Lowe's that was critically overwatered. I think they were fully soaking the soil every day, which I get it. Like, it's your job to water the plants, cool, whatever. But for most plants, maybe they can deal with that. These can't. And so that's that. And so my next plant is the plant that I have the most anger and aggression towards. It is my Monstera dubia. I kind of despise this plant a little bit. I got it for my birthday. It's my most expensive plant. It was a gift to me. and it is a gorgeous plant, objectively. But then when you get real close to it, you notice a little bit of yellow. There's some yellow. You notice that it's chlorotic and it's yellow. Yeah, I cut this plant 3 months ago, and it has only gone downhill. It has not put out a new growth point or new leaves. It has the slightest little bit of a bump that has been there for like 2 months, but nothing has come out of it. And the leaves started going chlorotic and yellow, and I think I'm giving it too much light and I'm not fertilizing it enough. So we're gonna mess with that. Hopefully it'll put out a new growth point once I fertilize it, but it doesn't do a whole lot. It makes me very unmotivated in having this plant because it is not growing. It refuses to grow, but we'll see, y'all. We'll see. Okay, and then last thing that's on my little table here is a cutting from this plant. I made 3 originally. I gave two are part of my trade with Tyler ever saw Atlanta, and this is the only one that I kept. It is rooted up very nicely. It has a bump for a cutting, but no new leaves or stems or anything, but I'll show you guys up close. It's a beautiful plant. I mean, it's gorgeous, wonderful veining. This pot is way too big for this cutting, but I don't have any other pots, and I didn't want to keep it in water for too long and get it used to being in a water environment. It just wasn't what I wanted, so I don't know. Okay, and so last random thing that I have is my propagation greenhouse box thing. This was actually a box of croissants at one point, but then I thought, why not just reuse it? And so I just have sphagnum. I'll hold this up to the camera a little bit. I just have sphagnum all along the bottom, and I just shove some random plants in there. Right now in here I have 2 jewel orchid cuttings and my other pink princess, and so I'll show those to you guys right now. It's gonna be loud. Okay, so here is one of my jewel orchid cuttings. I don't even know if you guys can really see this, but it has some really nice roots going on. You can see little furry roots all over this guy, doing really fantastic. But yeah, this is just a 1-leaf propagation. Doing really well. I try not to mess with it very often, and by that I mean I only mess with it 1 time a day. Yeah, and then we have another jewel orchid that is kind of frustrating. It has no leaves. This is a really leggy part of the plant, and it has, despite having a ton of really good, healthy growth points, all around here. We have healthy growth points everywhere. There's no roots. It has a healthy little growth point here, which is nice, satisfying. We should have leaves soon, but no roots. So just pulling from the energy in the plant, which is kind of This last plant is my last pink princess cutting. It's a no leaf cutting as well. And this one actually, it actually at first it had leaves, but then the area around the leaf started to rot, and on top of that, the growth point, this was a, what is the term, an axillary bud maybe, where it comes from the inside of, where it's like leaf here, stem here, and it comes in the space here, and it was actually pushing up against the leaf in a really weird way. I was worried it would damage the new growth, so I decided just to remove the leaf, which probably wasn't a super smart idea, but I did it anyways. But this one has been a problem from the start because all but one of the arrowroot nodes rotted. It didn't do too well, and it had one that survived, but the tip of it broke off, and so it stopped growing. Just show you, okay, so right here, we obviously have my new growth point with the new little leaf coming out, and we also have this here. I don't know if you guys, I don't even know if I'll be able to show y'all. I don't think it's even, oh, maybe right here. Can y'all see that shit? Right here, these two little things. little rootlets. Doing really good. So we'll just bury this back into the soil. I really need to stop messing with all of these, even though I literally check them every day, which is very bad. So this is my next one. These are, I left the best for last. These are my favorite genus of plants coming up. Yeah, give me 1 second. Okay, so here they are, my children, but I will excuse me. Okay, I have my favorite genus, my anthuriums, my children, my babies, my next of kin. I'll leave everything to them when I die. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll start with my Anthurium vitarifoliums. I have 3. Not because I bought 3, but because I bought a pot from, what is it? From Victoria, Atlanta. But this is the plant, the wonderful vitarifolium, my little one that I have. Has a new little leaf coming up here. Doing really good. Little baby guy. Actually, I know that this plant looks really small, but it has like hella roots, so which is why it's in this like 4.5, 5-inch pot. So he's doing great. This is my little rehab guy, doing his best. Has no leaves, has living roots. There's no active root growth, you know. Anthuriums are putting out brand new roots. The roots are like white almost with yellow tips. All of his roots are that very like dormant root color. They're alive, they're absorbing nutrients, but they're not actively growing. And so that's essentially just what's going on with him. He's doing pretty well though. I'm really hoping out for something from him, but until then, we'll just wait and see. Okay, and then my last vitarifolium. This one has probably the best roots and the best leaves. Obviously the largest leaf set out of any of these. Brand new little leaf right here. Absolutely gorgeous leaf coming out. But it has the newest roots. Let me see if we can maybe show you guys. Maybe not. Has the healthiest roots. Tons of those white, chunky, yellow tip, new roots, new leaves. It's doing really well. I'm really excited to see how it does. Now we're gonna move on to my velvet leaf anthuriums, which are my favorites. I'm gonna show you them one by one. They're wonderful. I'm gonna start off with my Vulnorum that I got from South Atlanta, Tyler, on Instagram. This little leaf and then this leaf right here, but it has since put out this gorgeous leaf right here, doing fantastic, still growing. I guess I can show you guys my little Clarinervium. This is actually my first anthurium. I bought this and there was actually 2 in one pot, and I mean, just, it's fucking gorgeous. It lost all of its leaves and its sister plant died, but I have completely nursed this plant back to health, and as you guys can see, it is just, ugh. Look at that. Gorgeous. This is the first leaf that it's put out since all the leaves died, but then this is the most recent. Just beautiful. Gorgeous. From last I saw, there's no sign of a new leaf just yet, but there is time. There's plenty of time to wait for this guy, so we'll see. This, if you don't know, this is an Anthurium regale. a very large Anthurium regale. Typically when you buy them, they're like juvenile. I scored this plant on my birthday for an incredibly low price. A plant of this size I've seen go for like $200 maybe. This isn't the leaf that came with it. This is a leaf that was in my care. The last leaf was a little bit bigger than this one. But I got this for $75. I've seen plants this big go for like $200. So it's a really intermediate plant to have as my second Anthurium, especially since at the time my first Anthurium was not doing very good. But it's been doing pretty okay in my care. The last leaf and I had a rough patch, but this one has no yellowing, no crisping. There's some tears in it, but those are my fault because I keep all my Anthuriums except for my Vitarifoliums, just because they're leathery, they're pendant Anthuriums, so they're a bit more hardy and resistant. I keep all my velvet leaf Anthuriums in a terrarium, a small one. It's actually meant to be a fish tank. I'll probably show you guys some B-roll of that here. Put all of them in there, but when new leaves, when new leaves are coming out, and I'm trying to move a plant in and out of the terrarium for watering or something, they have a tendency to grab onto the edge and then rip and snap, and so that's where you end up with tears like this, and I have one in my last plant, which is my favorite plant that I own. Just they create tears, but big beautiful leaf. It has an active little growth point, a little leaf spike that has started emerging. It will probably take a really long time for this plant to come out because I got it with a leaf spike that was already, yay big, and it took 2 months for it to start putting out a leaf from the spike, so we'll see. This is my last plant that I'm showing you guys today. It is also my favorite plant that I own. This is a Anthurium crystallinum. This is probably my favorite plant purchase I've ever made. I spent, I believe, $90 something shipped on it, which sounds like a lot, but it was a trillion% worth it. It was amazing. This plant has been nothing but wonderful. It has put out this gorgeous leaf that is starting to harden off, which again, you can see what I was talking about little marks, and so because of it, we have a warped leaf, which is fine. But for this plant, having a leaf this big is the first one that it's put out. It's larger than the smallest one. For it to put out a leaf this big, for it being the first leaf in my care, makes me very confident that the leaf after this will be massive. I'm hoping larger than this, which is the largest leaf on the plant, especially since this one is actually, oh wait, I didn't notice that. Wait, they're like the same size. I didn't even realize how big this leaf had gotten. But this plant has been doing really well in my care. Put out a new leaf. The new leaf already has, I'm not even gonna be able to show you. I'm not going to because there's so many leaves. It has a new leaf pregnancy on the petallar sheath, which is super exciting. And then I'll try and show you guys this. This plant is my #1 root grower. Let's see, but this plant has hella roots. To a point, this plant actually produces roots so fast that I got it and then potted it up in I think a 3-inch pot, and then 3 weeks later it was completely root bound and I had to repot it again. And I potted this one, I potted him into this I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it is already starting to move towards being root bound, and I'll probably have to repot it, I don't know, probably sometime in August or something like that. But yeah, this has been all my plants, all my stuff. I don't have a ton. I have no idea how long this video is going to be. No idea if this will be entertaining. I'll try and make it funny with the edits. I'll probably insert something real funny right there. But that's everything. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys see potential. I hope you like and subscribe like a real YouTuber. I think that's it. So, goodbye. It goes.